Alright, boom. Hey, whoa. Y'all go into the back of the, hey, I'm watching you. Come closer. Where you think you going? Y'all know damn well this title refers exactly to people like you. And you wanna run away. Look, man, come closer. You know you relate. Yo, we're breaking down the death of critical thinking, how stupidity took over. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I see a bunch of y'all running to the back of the back because you know the shoe fits you very well. Hey, you're here to learn, right? I don't know how many of y'all are part of this group that's being referred to by this title, but let's see it.
Cause this mind is straight chatter, but I can barely say something. I feel like shit don't matter, so beware the fun cutting. It's volumes of demise. I hear the sound buzzing, so when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies. Cried sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him.
You want to might check it out. Oh, yo. Alright, hold on. Hey, my fault, y'all. I was just doing that because, you know, I'm just trying to fix up my OBS right quick, dog. You know what I'm saying? So I need something to fill the gaps. Anyways, man, give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all deserve it. Y'all look smooth. Y'all look straight. Let's see y'all see this title, bro. It's making some of y'all nervous, I know it. Right? But let's hop into it, man. Let's take a deep look into the death of critical thinking, how stupidity took over, its aperture. You know what I'm saying? Usual entry, right? Frequent entry on this channel. Yeah. Tell us more about it, brother.
It's getting dumber.
Chimpanzini bananini.
Society is getting dumber.
Chimpanzini bananini. Burr patapim. Neca ambalabu. Puccino assassino. Tung sahur.
It's hard to be so chalant. It's just, you've got a level 10.
The hell am I listening to right now?
Yeah, no glaze.
IQ and critical thinking skills are in free fall. Young people don't want to go to school anymore. And Hollywood is actually making a movie about...
Bro, I heard that. Oh, I seen the Skibidi Toilet film, TV franchise or whatever. This is crazy. Do you even think that like it's meant for little children to? I mean, do your homework. To think it's meant for little children to enjoy this, is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Right, like type this word out, Skibidi Toilet, and check it out for yourself.
Skibidi.
Swear to God, I was like myself. I was intrigued by it myself. I was pulled in. I'm telling you, it grabbed my attention. I think I saw like 2-3 episodes just from, you know, from wanting to check it out for research purposes. Boom.
Toilet.
Bro.
I fear that
okay, cool. Let me let him finish.
we as a generation might be cooked, and what we're witnessing could be the slow death of human intelligence.
Talk about it.
What happens when an entire generation of humans don't develop critical thinking skills? And how will our society cope in a world where dumb people make all the decisions? To figure it out, I spoke to the researcher who literally invented the idea of measuring our attention spans, the professor who led the charge against ChatGPT cheating, and the MIT expert who's trying to... And what I discovered was that the problem is not as simple as you might think.
Aperture. Shh. Whoa. You look unusual today, brother. You look AI, dog. It's like there's no expression as you talk. Look at this.
And the solution is even more difficult.
You know, tornadoes don't care if you believe in them or not. They're gonna level your house anyway.
Yo, my fault. Nah, I wanted to see my boy Aperture, bro. Look, bro. Bro, this eye is like literally smaller than the other eye, bro. I don't know, but the thing is, I'm like, you know, I mean, I'll be kicking it with Aperture on this channel. Do your homework. Check the, you know, check previous videos. Look different today, buddy.
simple as you might think.
No, it's not a problem. It's just, you know, maybe it's been a while since we've been kicking. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
And the solution is even more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, tornadoes don't care if you believe in them or not. They're going to level your house anyway,
For real.
right? Pathogens don't care if you believe in them or not. You're going to get sick.
Death of intelligence. Let's talk about it. The reverse Flynn effect? What is that,
So,
sir?
first things first. Are we really getting stupider?
Tell me, bro.
It's so easy to be cynical and say the world is devolving into a real-life idiocracy. But, actually,
Idiocracy.
it turns out there is evidence. You might
Hold on. Quick little take. Quick take. I feel like, you know, it might just be a sideways kind of a take, but I feel like it's because, you know, the world is just like bogged down with a whole lot of pressures, right? Pressures economically, pressures politically, pressures socially, pressures financially, pressures, you know what I'm saying? All kind of pressures, right? So now, and the fact that, you know, a whole lot of responsibility, like, there's a whole lot of responsibility in every individual's life, literally. You know what I'm saying? So, being kind of, because this is like jester maxing kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of jester maxers, and I'm only putting it in that way. And by jester maxing, I mean like just like stupidity, making fools out of yourselves, because there's sort of a lightheartedness in like me seeing the foolishness in you, because it makes me feel better about myself. But not that if I find humor in that humor makes life kind of like soft again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It makes it kind of bearable again. You know what I'm saying? So if whether I see your idiocy as you know, something to you know what I'm saying? It still makes me feel better about myself, because me telling you get the F out my face, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm you know, I'm more important, whatever. You feel me? So that element kind of makes me feel important, gives me some kind of purpose. I don't know, some shit. Or if I find humor in your idiocy, you know what I'm saying? It's something where it's like, yo, my idiocy may not be so bad after all. You know, there's like I don't, okay. I told you it might be a sideways take, but listen to me. Those who are willing to listen. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, if I can see that, you know, you being a fool, the foolishness in me, I can just like, it lightens the load out of me being insecure about that, and so therefore I can better integrate my whole entirety, including my foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we talking about? Obviously, bro. It's like 1 + 1 is 2. It's like, I'm 14, and obviously this is deep.
might even say proof, and it's pretty dramatic.
Yep.
Starting in the 1930s, for half a century,
What happened?
America's IQ rose steadily year over year. This phenomenon became known as the Flynn effect.
Okay.
Well, why?
Why?
Greater access to education, but also improved access to healthy foods and reduced exposure to environmental elements harmful to our brains, like lead.
And the internet was not yet in existence. Boom! There was no internet. That was another advantage. Huge advantage. Well, when it comes to us relying on the brain for this thing called critical thinking, right?
But since the turn of the century, the tide has shifted drastically,
Why?
resulting in what is now known as the reverse Flynn effect. IQ is in free fall not only in the US but across Europe as well. US high school math and reading skills have plummeted to all-time lows, and college students have been found to be less verbally skilled than their peers from 50 years ago.
For real?
It's not unusual for a student to have not read a book prior to coming to college.
There's also plenty of cultural evidence that our intelligence is falling. No one reads books anymore. The lyrics of the pop songs that top the charts
Alright, look. Let me just be honest about one thing, bro. No, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the martyr. Fuck it. Let's do it. Right? Look. I don't hate reading. Look, I don't hate reading. I feel like my form of taking in information has transformed. My preference of taking in, you know, critical details, since we're talking about critical thinking, critical details, important details, whatever kind of details, right? It's like my preferred way of taking in information is different. Look, for me, going online, watching you a really good, powerful video essay from a YouTuber, that's good enough for me. Look, and by good enough, I mean by a nice, powerful, important, significant video essay. By all of those descriptions, I also include trusted sources, right? I include trusted sources from whatever that video essay is talking about, when we're talking about referencing, you know, some other stuff, right? So that's why I trust things like video essays over reading, because, you know, even shit like, and I know there's the whole thing where it's like, yo, of course there's a difference between like reading black and white, you know what I'm saying, things on paper, like what's this? What am I trying to say, bro? Like, you get it, books, bro, you know what I'm saying, versus watching some stuff. You know what I'm saying? There is a clear difference. There are benefits, pros and cons, blah blah blah. But I feel like it's the same thing, bro. It's the same concept. It's the taking in of information. You understand what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, when it comes to fictional books and all of that kind of stuff. Oh my God, you get fictional videos out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? What are we trying? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, it's the same thing. So, but the thing is, I want to be visually stimulated as well, and that's why I prefer and it's not even like the YouTube thing is just one example. You know, even social media, bro. You can. Okay, wait. Let me take that one back.
I'm tripping. I had to go back
on IG. You can find no. I'm not saying I've replaced reading with being there, because I don't be on those platforms actually. I'm mostly on like things like YouTube, Rumble, you know what I'm saying, where like you can get real information from creators who are who have real intention for spreading legit info, helpful info, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't hate reading. I said I'm sorry for yapping a lot, but I said all of that to say this. I still don't like reading. Like,
I'm tripping.
And
I had to go back on it.
It's not that I hate it. It's just like I had to go back on it. You know, a different.
I had to go back on it.
Another. Oh my God! What the hell? Why you keep talking over me, bro? Shut up. It's your turn. Yeah, man, as I was saying, bro, before I chew up any more time, bro. Yeah, I just prefer other forms of you know, retaining information, attaining information, right? So I'm done. My fault.
Have gotten increasingly simplistic and childlike, and our standards of entertainment in general have changed from this to, well, literal brain rot. And I promise.
That's that skibidi toilet. Did you see that? That's that skibidi toilet. What the hell is that?
Changed from this.
Why would you create that kind of imagery?
To, well, literal brain rot.
Got that face. Chat, look at that face, bro. What are we doing?
And I promise, this isn't just some old man yells at sky moment.
What is it?
It would be easy to point out things like screen time and the internet for why we're getting dumber, but we've had pretty much the exact same reaction to every technological innovation, from excessive reading to the radio, the Walkman. In fact, for a moment, There were even fears that riding in cars could dangerously stretch your brain.
What?
Every smart device devised by man has been accused of
What about the truck drivers? Oh my god.
robbing the youth of their native intelligence. But something today really does feel different, more transformative, more destructive, and that's not just a feeling. There's hard data to back it up. Critical thinking skills are in decline, and that decline is accelerating. All of this, in spite of the fact that people worldwide are far more educated than their grandparents and great-grandparents were. In 1900, the global literacy rate was barely above 20%. Today, nearly 9 out of 10 people worldwide can read and write.
Nice.
The average number of years a human being spends in school has ballooned over the last century.
Ballooned, what does that
The
mean?
world is indisputably more knowledgeable than it used to be.
Nice.
So, shouldn't there be some relationship between the amount of knowledge we possess and the amount of importance that we attach to said knowledge?
That's what I'm asking
Because,
myself.
sadly, it seems to be the opposite. The value of education is falling drastically among young people. In fact, in just 6 short years, from 2018 to 2024, the percentage of American teens who considered going to college a priority dropped by almost 40%. And it's not hard to see why. When you look at previous generations saddled with student loans and unable to find jobs even with their degrees, while at the same time an endless array of seemingly self-made online entrepreneurs flaunt lifestyles and wealth beyond the wildest dreams of the average college grad, well, you can see why education starts to look like the worst bet.
Right.
But even if traditional education has lost its allure, it doesn't explain why simple intellectual curiosity seems to have gone out the door as well. Well, now you are actually going to have to listen to my old man yells at sky rant.
Yep.
Because truly, your mom was right. It's that damn phone.
Oh my god,
Well,
no.
Part of it.
Right.
My name is Gloria Mark. I
Gloria
am
Mark.
Chancellor's Professor Emerita at University of California, Irvine.
Nice to meet you.
I am the author of the book called Attention Span, and I write a Substack on the same topic called The Future of Attention.
Okay.
Dr. Mark's interest in this subject originated from her personal experience back in the early 2000s.
What was that?
I was trained as a psychologist, so I had this very deep interest in how the mind works.
Nice.
And I became especially interested in it from my own experience, noticing how my own attention started to be diminishing when I was using tech, how I was multitasking. And I asked colleagues, is it just me? Does anyone else have this experience? And others said yes, they've noticed the same thing. So I figured I have the tools to be able to study this empirically, right, as a scientist. And so that's how I began to study it.
What's crazy to realize nowadays is that at the time, this was pioneering work.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no one had ever studied attention spans before 2004. And so we really had nothing to compare it against.
And the initial results were shocking.
What were they?
So what we found at the time was that people switched any activity on average every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But if we just looked at their attention on screens, they switched on average every 2.5 minutes. Now, at the time, this astonished me because I didn't expect, and I thought, well, maybe people might spend 15 minutes, maybe at worst 7, 8
That was
minutes.
the expectation.
But I really didn't expect to see this kind of switching of attention on screens.
2.5 minute attention span, have an ad. That's you. That's you guys. That's you boys, though. But what's beautiful about this is the fact that, you know what I'm saying, now it has hit our attention. Something to do about it. There's there's some direction where we can, you know, put some intention with regard to what we work on. You feel what I'm saying?
Every 2.5 minutes on average.
And it's only gotten worse.
Wow.
So in 2012,
Oh, that was 2012? It's 30 seconds now. It's 30 seconds now, homie. What are we talking about?
the average attention span was 75 seconds.
Oh no, it is 30 seconds because okay, wait. We about to find out what she says. It must be 30 seconds because look at shorts. Look at things like you know, the TikTok things and right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the short form videos and stuff. That stuff is like 30 seconds. Like some of these apps, they just like allow you to upload some like 30-second like type shit. It must be 30 seconds. Hold on. See what she talking about. Hold on.
On screens.
That was 2012. Wait, she said 2012 it was there. Hold on.
And then
Worse.
so in 2012, the average attention span was 75 seconds
Right.
on screens. And then starting from around 2016 through 2020, right before the pandemic, the average comes to 47 seconds. Average on a screen before switching. This has been replicated by others as well.
And this isn't just something that happens with young people like the news or your grandparents would have you believe.
In our research, we have not seen a difference. I've looked at college students and people in the workplace roughly between the ages of 25 and 65. And we've looked for age differences and we've not seen them.
For everyone.
I'm not gonna lie, listen to me when I say this, right? I feel like if you got you a job, right? Hold on, listen to me. If you got you a job where okay, clean, you may feel like, oh no, I'm slaving away. Like half the day I'm at that spot. It's like 12 hours, like 8 hours. Like, bro, it's crazy. 10 hours going crazy, bro. I feel like those are the kind of like gigs, right? Like those jobs, those are kind of like experiences that at least help keep you focused for all those hours, bro. Bro, look at what humanity has lost in just, you know, being the ADHD society. Look what, like 40 seconds, 47 seconds. That's your attention span. You feel what I'm saying? So now I feel like if you can switch in a mode where you can lock in, okay, like me, bro, like I'm saying, let me not be the crazy guy to just like point the finger at everybody else while there's 3 other fingers pointing back at me, right? I don't know if y'all know about that expression. It's kind of corny now thinking about it, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, let me point the finger back at myself, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm at a 12-hour spot. Listen to me. I'm at a 12-hour joint, but yeah, and that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. That's why, yo, click that like button, you know what I'm saying? That subscribe shit, you know what I'm saying? It's run it up, man. I mean, so I can change my life, goddamn. Look, I'm at a 12-hour spot, but at least the benefit, bro, it keeps my mind locked into that stuff for at least into something for 12 hours. And so therefore, I feel like I still am working that muscle of focusing on something for an extended amount of time type. You understand? So I feel like, you know, it's not all doom and gloom when something appears to be doom and gloom shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not all bad, bro. Like, and looking at shit like attention span, that shit, you know what I'm saying? This is scary. Cause I'm telling you, they said it's right up until like 2012. The analysis right up until 2012 said it's 47 seconds. It's 2026, my neighbor. I'm telling you this shit is 15 seconds now. Your attention span is
Across
15.
all ages, depending on digital products as a crutch does affect your brain physically.
I'll give you one concrete
Give me
example,
3.
and that's with the use of GPS. You know, a lot of people complain that they've lost their ability to navigate because they're reliant on GPS. But studies of brain imaging show that the hippocampus size has actually shrunk for people who are heavy GPS users. There's more than one study that shows this. There's actually a very interesting study that shows the converse. It shows that London taxi drivers who have to memorize a map of the convoluted streets of London in their mind, they have very large hippocampus sizes.
Oh shit, is that why they got big heads?
Larger than people who don't have to do it. So we are seeing an effect of this in terms of hippocampus size.
Okay then, but how do these changes affect our lives?
It certainly is affecting us. Certainly we're seeing a correlation of stress with shorter attention spans. And in fact, the World Health Organization had designated stress to be an epidemic of the 21st century. Because when you're switching your attention so rapidly, you're not thinking deeply. You're not
becoming a shallow society.
Reflecting. You're not deliberating over the material. There's a psychological concept called depth of processing, which means that the more people are actively engaged with information, the better they are able to comprehend it and to retain it. That doesn't happen.
The more people that are engaged, right? Hold on. Let me let you say that again.
Are actively engaged with the material.
More people.
There's a psychological concept called depth of processing, which means that the more people are actively engaged with information, the better they are able to comprehend it.
Whoa, is that how algorithms are built? You know what I'm saying? Is that the ideology? Because you gotta understand where you see a whole lot of traffic in terms of, like, maybe, let's say for example, you see a channel with a whole bunch of maybe subscribers, or maybe a video that, like, you know, your algorithm recommends to you, and it has a whole lot of, like, you know what I'm saying, views and things like that. But you see, it's like, you know, ashy thumbnail, weak title, whatever, but it's like it got a whole bunch of views. That curiosity that sparks, be like, yo, what's up with this? Why does it have so many views? And yet I don't see that pull, you know, immediately, just off rip. That might be it, you know what I'm saying? No, but then they were like, now she said the easier it is for you to comprehend that. Not the easier it is for you to get clickbaited. No, okay, my bad. You know what? I think I got it wrong. My fault.
And to retain it, that doesn't happen when we're, you know, looking at short snippets of content from educators in K through 12 who I've been speaking with. They tell me that students are having a much harder time paying attention than earlier years. And so what they're doing is they're adjusting content to match shorter attention spans. I worry about a gradual shift in society to not only reinforce our short attention spans, but to accept them. That we're reaching a new level of normal where it's fine to have short attention spans. It's fine to not do the cognitive work to be able to.
So standards are gonna shift. I feel like standards are gonna shift, because think about it. If attention spans are shorter, it means like the times that you spent in a class for a certain period. Like, for example, I don't know how other schooling systems do it, other education systems, but where I'm at, right, there's like you're in school and y'all switch classes, you know what I'm saying, or at least switch subjects every, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes or whatever. well, you know, when I was in school, shit, it was like 45 minutes or whatever, right? That's like a period. We call that a period school, and then we switch periods. You go next period, that's the next subject, next class, next teacher, da da da. You know what I'm saying? So now that's gonna have to be shorter. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, yeah, the attention, the focus that even a student can put on a subject matter at school. You know, like the time, you know, the duration at which you teach the kids. It's gonna have to be like in short spurts of time. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, instead of maybe teaching a class of kids on a certain subject for like maybe a whole hour, maybe that's the standard like time, or a whole 30 minutes, it's just gonna be like 5 minutes. Damn. Now, how many things can you squeeze in like one teaching, one lesson within 5 minutes? Don't need a whole lot of creativity, bruh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Get back and use the short form video format to just like deliver lessons in class and shit like that. Man, 30 seconds a piece. Goddamn, let's do it.
Learn something. And I really worry about the effects that this is going to have.
Me too.
No rational adult believes TikTok-style content is an acceptable substitute for real learning.
But what else could it be though, Aperture? Let's think.
But when generations of kids raised on YouTube Shorts make it to the classroom, what if that's the only thing their brains are capable of digesting?
What am I saying?
Is this the future of history class or biology 101?
Man.
Smartphones and social media have been consciously engineered to demand our ongoing attention, not for long sustained periods of time, but in endless small bites.
Damn.
Endless scroll layouts create feeds that are easy to start but never actually end. Multiple apps, tabs, and devices encourage stop-start piecemeal multitasking. These constant external and internal reminders create a world in which sustained focus and sustained thought becomes increasingly challenged. So much so that simply being in the same room as your phone has been demonstrated to lower mental aptitude. How far has our collective brain power devolved?
Great question, man.
What happens to a society when too few of its citizens possess the intellectual curiosity and the mental stamina to seek out facts and evaluate objectives?
No, wait. Let me lock in. My fault. Let me just read that. What happens to society when too few of its citizens possess the intellectual curiosity and the mental stamina to seek out facts and evaluate objective truth? I think objective truth can be manipulated. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Because if too few of a society's collective, you know what I'm saying, are lazy in their thinking to what's this, due diligence. You know what I'm saying? On whatever information it is that hits their senses, right? That hits their brain. You know, people are lazy, or too lazy to freaking just like do due diligence on things like their leaders. You know what I'm saying? People that like manipulate their daily decisions. You know what I'm saying? People that have the power to do so over their lives. It's like those people, right? Come on, hello, the elite secret societies. Boom, secret societies, bro. Like, these guys can like manipulate reality on your behalf. Like, they, you know, like somebody, because objective truth has to be held by some entity, like, you know what I'm saying, to keep the standard of what the truth is. And so therefore, if you don't know it, or you're lazy to seek out the information, or you know, or the least curious to seek out facts about whatever it is, whatever the truth is, I can hide it from you and manipulate it from you. I can literally control you. Hello, the modern world. Let's do it.
Truth. For Renee DiResta, the doorway to a scary new world cracked open back in 2013. In researching preschools, Renee noticed that childhood vaccinations for deadly diseases like measles, which she had given her own child without a second thought, were, in her California Bay Area community, seemingly seen as optional at best.
I actually went to the California Public Health databases, and there were some schools in the neighborhood that had measles rate uptake in like 33%. And I said, my God, this is insane, actually. So I started writing about it.
Despite a measles outbreak in California linked to Disneyland, local law at the time allowed for voluntary opt-out of vaccinations for any reason. Leading the charge against that law was a state senator who also happened to be a pediatrician.
And I got involved in that legislative fight. Me and a couple of other moms who I didn't even know started an organization called Vaccinate California. We met on the internet.
At that point, Renee quickly became acquainted with a passionate group of whose existence she was previously unaware.
Right.
The anti-vaccine movement had been very well networked online for a very long time. And they had also been very accustomed to using techniques like harassment to push people out of the conversation for a very long time, because unfortunately it works. You can use intimidation.
Renee was shocked to see that for anti-vax zealots, few tactics were actually off the table.
I had a Facebook profile which I hadn't locked down in a million different ways yet. I didn't know better at the time. And they went and they took pictures from my profile of me with my baby. We were at Disneyland for Halloween. I was dressed as Maleficent. He was dressed as the little crow. And they said that, they took those photos and they started sharing them into harassment hashtags saying that we were Satanists.
Other moms in Vaccinate California endured the same.
They would send instant messages to people's older kids, to kind of like high school age kids, saying like, do you know what your mom is doing? So it was these sort of tactics that were gross, really, but the intent was to make it feel like it was a liability to participate. This isn't unique to the anti-vaccine movement, of course.
These and other eye-opening experiences led Dr. DiResta, now a research professor at Georgetown, to write a book called Invisible Rulers, The People Who Turn Lies into Reality. We reached out to Renee to help us first understand why junk science and other mistruths wield so much power in online dialogue, increasingly nowadays spilling over into the real world. Notice the use of the word lies in her.
Yo, before we get into lies and stuff like that, quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the sin, cause it was pride before the fall. And now the demons grin, there's no temptation too tall, so it's forever. Yeah, imagination that shifted realities, till paradigms shift into shades you ain't never seen. Was once excited for all this, now I ain't trying to be seen. Forever. Cause this mind is straight.
Move right. Move right.
Spilling over into the real world.
I look. Still with a picture. A picture. No. Still aperture. The death of critical thinking. How stupidity took over. I don't know. Just for the sake of the ones at the back, bro. I just gotta, gotta zoom in. Let them take in all that glory, you feel me? Still hanging with the man, aperture, bro. Let's hear it.
Notice the use of the word lies in her book's title. A term we would commonly apply to anti-vax content is misinformation. Yeah. But Renee finds that label misleading.
Misinformation implies that there is a fact that is wrong, and that if you just correct the fact, people are going to say, whoops, I got it wrong, and you know, they're going to maybe change their mind.
Maybe.
And so it's not necessarily misinformation where the problem is the fact, where you can say, no, here are 10 studies that show that this is safe. Here are 10 studies that show that this doesn't cause that. Here are 10 studies. Because the study, the fact, that is not the point. The point is the fear.
She therefore lays the blame not with the army of angry online commentators and trolls, but with the malicious few who have carefully cultivated their warped views.
I had my first baby in 2013. I have 3 kids. But when I had my first, my Facebook feed fundamentally changed. All of a sudden, I started getting recommended mom content. And a lot of the mom content that I got recommended was anti-vaccine content. And it's because that's where a lot of the high engagement stuff was. And oftentimes, if you would click through and go to their websites, they would be very, very heavily monetized. Because what they would want to do is they would want to sell you alternative products. So get my oils, get my supplements, get my books, get my kits, get my 10-part web series, right? So I have a great deal of empathy for the people who are fearful, who are uncertain, who are hesitant, who don't know who to trust, who don't know what messages to believe. And I think that that is very distinctly different from the profiteering grifters who do what I just described.
Like queen bees, thought leaders in community like these, driven by attention and profit, enjoy the outreach and intimidation efforts of their many volunteer worker drones. What drives that passion and that fear? In the case of the anti-vax crowd, why are so many so willing to disregard the advice of the medical establishment and trusted family doctors in favor of online charlatans that they've never even met? It's easy to just point and laugh, but the reality is much more nuanced. Overall,
The rise of the buy my course wave.
all faith
Buy my course. $9.99. My course. Click the link in description now. My course. $9.99. Crazy.
in traditional institutions is failing fast. Government, church, media, our collective belief that these one-time pillars will tell us the truth and have our best interests at heart has fallen in half over the last 50 years. In the past, there were experts, and by and large, people listened to them. But then, for a wide variety of reasons, cracks in that armor began to appear.
What you mean?
For many, experts is now synonymous with elites, and elites, of course, are the enemy. What follows from here is a kind of asymmetric online warfare. The institutions we have been taught to trust operate at a natural disadvantage.
So there is still somewhere inside an expectation that this group of institutional media is going to tell you the truth, actually. That experts do, in fact, know what they're talking about, but that gotcha model drives a lot of engagement. Two things can both be true. Institutions screw up sometimes. They should be more transparent. They should reckon with things when they do. Also, at the same time, that effort to undermine them constantly is happening because of an incentive where the influencer themselves is maximizing economically and in terms of attention from undermining that institution.
And the thing about a lot of social media is that it targets and elicits very basic emotional responses from us. So basic responses like excitement or fear or disgust, these kinds of basic emotional responses keep us glued to the site because we want to experience.
And I feel like the one that does that the most, yo, shout out Elon, bro. My boy pulled up with the X, bro. X got people in like dazes, mazes, hazes, crazes. Yo, X got people in strange paces. Oh, X is the devil, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like
these, especially happiness or excitement or shock, those kinds of responses are intriguing for us and want us to keep going for more.
Why?
Every time you open an app, It is using all the tools at its disposal to figure out ways to keep you scrolling. Tech giants know we don't just respond to the things we like, we respond to novelty, to intricate conspiracy theories and exciting gossip, no matter how far-fetched. It's easy to judge, but have you ever seen a...
Bro, and I feel like, listen to this, bro. This is my little, you know, and I feel like this might be a little accurate, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. You know, I'm open for, you know, being corrected, but I feel like even the dislike function on YouTube, bro, you know what I'm saying? Look what psychologically what it's doing, right? You don't like something, you like because obviously you know, these kind of platforms, you know, the content that you may bump into there may get you going, you feel what I'm saying? And then you might bump into like a piece of content that gets you going so bad, man, you know, that like, you smash that dislike button, even smash it twice just to make sure that okay, but then when you hit it twice, it like it switches it off, right? It disables it, so you gotta do it the third time. Do it the third time, okay, comes back on, you like make sure you dislike. But I feel like, yo, regardless of the fact that like multiple people dislike that, like that's like still engagement, so it still pushes it up on the algorithm, right? So even though you put that dislike energy on that piece of content, it's like, bro, you still pushing it, up the, what you call this, yeah, pushing it up the algorithm so that it, wait, nah, but I wouldn't think if the dislike ratio, you know, if the dislike to like ratio is just like more, right? Like if there's more dislike than likes, I don't think YouTube recommends it. I wouldn't think so. I'm too lazy to do the homework. Death of critical thinking. Oh, nah, wait, let me do my homework. Hold on. Let me not like, you know what I'm saying? Let me not be that guy. Let me not prove this video right. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, wait. It's not an excuse. Listen to me. It's not an excuse what I'm about to do. My co-pilot does not respond to me, bro. So I might not be able, and I don't want to freaking type everything out. Let me prove it to you. Look. Look. Hello, hello, hello. 1 2 1 2. Co-pilot, can you hear me? Look at this. Co-pilot, can you hear me? Right? Like at times I speak to my co-pilot and he hears me. And every time I speak, this microphone it highlights. You know what I'm saying? It glows. Yeah, it glows. You know, on and off. But now 1 2 1 2 1 2. You see, nothing is happening. Hold on, let me see. My co-pilot cannot hear me, and that's because, look, another thing, I changed my microphone, right? And so I gotta set up the thing so that it picks up this microphone so that my co-pilot can hear me. And so therefore, that's why I cannot do the research. Please don't think like critical thinking is dead because I'm lazy to do this shit, man. I'm not lazy. I swear to God. Well, my co-pilot shit is just easy. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? The question, or you just tell me in the comments, bro. Is it the case that, you know, when a content piece has more dislike than likes, does YouTube still recommend it to more people? That's the question. Because my whole point was, you can dislike a video so much, but as long as you click, you know, you can click that dislike button, but you engaged with it, so you telling the algorithm to suggest it to more people, right? Because you're engaging with it. It's that engaging, right? So my whole thing was the whole psyop behind the dislike button. You thinking you getting the video out the way? No, you actually pushing it forward. You telling, you know what I'm saying?
Social media story so tantalizing, you foolishly shared first and fact-checked it later. At the end of the day, none of us are immune.
Going with your gut.
Unlike the vast majority of online content, real life is nuanced and complicated. The health of a society and a democracy depends on the voting public valuing and being able to employ logic.
Yeah.
Logic means structured thinking. It is the very antithesis of going with your gut.
Yeah.
The gold standard of logical and productive human thought is the Greek philosophy of epistemology. The idea is separate fact from belief. Fact is determined on the basis of establishing truth, based on credible evidence and the use of reason.
Right.
In 1858,
What happened?
a series of famed debates between Senator Stephen Douglas and former President Abraham Lincoln involved whole towns full of ordinary citizens, many of them illiterate and uneducated, evaluating carefully constructed arguments and counter-arguments in events lasting 3 hours.
Okay.
Contrast the world in which Lincoln-Douglas debates were conducted with the 2024 US presidential election, the front lines of which were largely inflammatory TikToks and non-stop political memes.
Whoa.
And that's not just politics. When all eyeballs are on short-form content, how is anyone supposed to convey more than the simplest thoughts and ideas?
Nice.
Scientists who hope to communicate their research and findings outside of their own specialized community have to settle for thoroughly dumbed down YouTube videos. But it's not just that we like our viral content short and sweet. It's also that comparing and contrasting competing information is mentally taxing. Many people, although they claim to be interested in the news and truth, are really just looking for something that hits them in the feels. In the online world, which increasingly seems like the only world that matters,
It is. Nah, that was a troll. My bad. Was it?
and unambiguous sensationalist messaging is the ultimate recipe for reaching the widest possible audience. You'll sometimes hear it said that we live in a post-truth society.
Nice.
Well, the irony is that a world of verifiable truth to separate fact from fiction is rarely more than a Google away, unless you indulge in the most extreme conspiratorial thinking and believe little readily available online information can be trusted. The truth is out there, and it's usually not hard to find.
Yo, and I feel like the one thing that society needs to do, especially modern society, bro, is, you know, try and sensitize your mind to at least have a layer of questioning everything online, bro, before verifying within your own self that it's really true or not. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this AI stuff, man. This AI shit, bro. Shit here, bro. And you know, I'm not saying it's good or bad in itself. It's just we do have a bunch of malicious minds out there. And now, you know, you take AI and put it in their hands. What you think is finna, you know what I'm saying? So, with that kind of reality in mind, it's like, you have the mental capacity, bro, or sensitivity to be like, you know, or actually society needs to just like get to a point where there's a way of just like automatically switching on that skeptical mindset whenever anything from the internet hits us. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to like salacious things, you know what I'm saying? Scandalous titles, thumbnails, things like that. You feel me? Clickbaity kind of stuff. It should be normal to question it first before believing or dismissing, right?
This then is the real question.
What is it?
Why do people who care about spicy subjects rush to flood your feed with dodgy content but are never interested in taking a quick second just to see if any of it is actually true? Well, largely because deep down they're not looking for the truth. They're looking for arguments and evidence to confirm what they already believe. There's a sort of power that comes from embracing ignorance. or maybe just your own set of facts.
What is it?
Much of the irrationality infecting our cultural dialogue can be attributed to people who don't like getting their answers from authority figures, but who also lack the critical thinking skills to evaluate information for themselves.
What a pickle. You find yourself trapped in a pickle jar in that sense. What? You defy authority, but you don't have enough sense of initiative to direct your own path? And what the fuck are we doing at that point? Because it's either you obey or you carve your own path, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Now, of course, as a YouTube channel that enjoys pondering and exploring all of life's great mysteries, we love the idea of people doing their own research.
Nice.
But isn't it funny how whenever they do, it always seems to end up confirming the biases they went in with at the start?
Should be.
Perhaps there is an even deeper reason so many people are embracing and even celebrating ignorance. There's a sense that our so-called cultural superiors have taken advantage of us little people, and they're looking down on us, and they've been looking down on us for too long. And now the mob is finally getting their revenge. In the dopamine-driven online arena, boring old facts get shouted down and replaced with sexier fake news and conspiracy theories.
Nice.
Opportunistic political figures have observed this phenomenon of anti-intellectualism and embraced it.
I love the poorly educated.
Anti-intellectualism. Anti-intellectualism. Now don't get me started on the hip-hop fraternity when it comes to anti-intellectualism. Shout out my mumble rapper. No. Nope, the boys did well for themselves. Let me not do that. The boys did well for themselves. Even though, right now, their sport, it has kind of, you know what I'm saying, on the decline. But, hey, the boys done good. The boys done well for themselves. Give them a hand. Or not. Hold on.
We're the smartest people. We're the most loyal people.
Mistrust in public institutions like the government and academia, stoked by unconventional outsider political figures, makes people even more doubtful of scientific information. And now the lunatics are running the asylum. Over the course of the last decade, René DiResta has been a first-hand witness as the anti-science movement has gone mainstream.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. showed up to California to kind of fight with the anti-vaxxers to support in defense of measles, was kind of how I put it. But now he runs the CDC and Health and Human Services, right?
As if we didn't already have it bad enough, in the last 2 years, that problem has gotten much, much worse.
Crazy. Brain on ChatGPT.
What would you say happened to our collective ability to do mental math when calculators came along?
Declined. Went to the dogs. Got blown by the wind. Vanished. Poof into the abyss. That's when the natural capability of computing went. Of computing numbers went.
I think we'd all agree everyone got worse at arithmetic.
I knew it.
What happened to our ability to remember basic facts post-Google?
Went to the dogs. Poof in the abyss.
We all got more forgetful, right? So what then happens when a new kind of tool comes along, one that allows us to outsource not just mental arithmetic or trivia, but all of our curiosity about everything, both mental and emotional, providing endless answers with only a few mouse clicks?
They started getting these emails saying, hey, I said,
bro, I see ChatGPT. Once that microchip officially get rolled out, that Neuralink, oh hell no. The intuition will be gone.
I started using this tool called ChatGPT, and I think my memory became worse. So I can be like, hey, can we measure that? Enough. This new tool, right? It's barely 3 years old, barely, and it's been right now introduced in all of the aspects of our lives, everywhere, right? And so, of course, the question was naturally, okay, so do we actually know what's happening in the brain? No one really ran a study, so we decided to design one. My name is Natalia Kosmina, and I'm a research scientist at MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Media Lab. And I work on what is known as brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, for the past 16 years. And today we're going to be talking about one of the recent studies we released called Your Brain on ChatGPT.
Given that her lab is on a college campus, the basic outline of the study was easy enough to drum up. Gather a bunch of students, ask them to write essays. Some can use ChatGPT, while others use search engines. And then others still have to rely on the power of their own mind. In the most basic terms, Dr. Kosmina and her team found that the more robust the technology a given test subject was allowed to use, the less information they retained.
The details, as we know, tiny things do matter. We actually saw this also with our paper and reaction to our paper. By not doing this cognitive work and reading through the thing.
Yeah, because I mean, at the same time, why would you carry the heavy load when there's somebody to carry that whole load for you, right? Why would you retain all that information when you can just like nudge, you know what I'm saying, ChatGPT right quick, then he'll just cough up the info for you, right?
You would not be as knowledgeable, you would not be able to respond as fast, you would not be as comfortable and fluent in some of those responses.
But how is this any different from things like calculators that came before?
You know, you do not talk to your calculator about your feelings, about your worries, about your stresses at work. You do not go to bed.
You don't. That's true. You do not.
With your calculator, literally don't wake up and check your calculator first thing in the morning.
In her well-informed opinion, AI is a transformative technology, a quantum leap forward even from old-school Googling.
So in case of Google, right, there's definitely a cost to attention that was found back in 2008, 2011, changes in our working memory, short-term, long-term memory, and recall.
But Googling still requires active mental participation. It's an aid to thought and not a replacement for it.
The idea there is that you still need to work your brain to search for that information. So you like, hey, what is this? Oh, this is about that? Okay, so you kind of need to incorporate what you are looking for, process it, analyze it, kind of pull it together in some coherent story for yourself. So you kind of need to work your brain, if I may say so.
Full disclosure, Dr. Kosmina recently joined Google as a visiting researcher.